welcome back to my YouTube channel. Welcome back to yet another video with me. To my day ones, to my regular daylers, what it do, baby? And welcome back to yet another video with me. Thank you for the continuous love and support. And if you are new here and you don't know who I am, my name is Dineo Moth and welcome to my channel. Hope you love it enough to stay and subscribe. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button below. Anyway, so today I'm back with another video and I'm titling this one Self-Love Diaries. So the main title is also being kind to myself. So I've just been having conversations with my family and friends around the topic of self-love, and we went deep into this conversation that made me realize that, you know what, I think I need to be more kind to myself. I think I need to, show myself some gratitude. I need to be more lenient on myself as I'm on this journey of becoming her, of becoming this person that I'm trying to be. It's more about me being lenient towards myself with regards to, the journey, because it's not a destination, it's a journey and it never comes to an end. There's always something that I'm always going to work towards, and I need to be lenient to myself. So the other day, I was actually doing the try on haul and just fitting some of the few items that I got, and I just realized how I kept beating myself over my fupa, like, why the hell are you here? Like why the hell are you doing here? So I just realized, like, dude, why are you doing this to yourself? Why are you being so harsh to yourself? As many of you know, I'm on a weight loss journey. I'm trying to sort of tone down my body, and the journey is really difficult. I think a journey like that sometimes can lead you to depression if you're not being kind to yourself. So sometimes you see results, sometimes you don't. So for example, for me, in the last month or so, I haven't seen any movement on the scale. And that happens, and that's usually because you're probably burning fat and building muscle. So the scale doesn't know how to read the difference between, the fat and the muscle. So your body could be going down, but you don't see that because the scale is telling you that you're not moving. But I think people around you can tell that, you know what, you are losing weight, but that does affect you sometimes. So, those type of things can lead you to just hating the journey of wanting to do this weight loss thing, because you feel like, what am I doing? Because I'm here every day, but I'm not seeing any differences. And one thing I have to keep reminding myself while I do that to myself, like beat myself about it, is that it's a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle. It's not about just losing weight. It's a lifestyle. So it's about me, building a mentality that I'm not doing this just to lose weight. I'm doing this to build a lifestyle as well, because even though I get to the weight that I desire, I'm still going to continue with this every day. Make it a lifestyle, make it a habit to stay healthy, stay active, and, tap into this physical activity world, with excitement every day, with joy, because it's something that I really enjoy and not something that I hate doing. So yeah, so that's why I thought of, okay, let me do this self-diary journey to say, you know what, I'm going to look back on this and I'm going to be grateful. I'm going to be thankful that I started and I never gave up, right? Anyway, the first thing with the self-love journey, I think acceptance. I think accepting yourself for who you are is really key. It's something that I've been struggling with myself. Acceptance is really a huge part of this whole self-love journey. So obviously, just trying to understand and know that you don't need to be perfect. You will never be perfect in any way. So understanding that you will always have flaws, you will always have things that are not going right in your life, you always have things that are not where you want them to be, but just acceptance to know that, you know what, I am not perfect, but I'm also perfect. I'm a perfect imperfection. So that's first thing, I feel like it's so important for me that I've been working on, to say acceptance over everything, accepting this beautiful me every day, regardless of the fact that I see myself somewhere in the future, or I have goals for myself. Although sometimes I do suffer from this body dysmorphia, some days I really do wake up and stand in the mirror and be like, girl, you are beautiful, you are hot. Like, I'll be posing on the mirror looking like, all those type of things, so accepting myself has been like a huge part of this journey, and me being here and really accepting myself for who I am every day. Although I wake up with some insecurities on some of the days, it really played a huge role in me becoming what I'm trying to become, and me being where I am today. There's days where I didn't love myself enough, but there's days where I loved myself way too much, and there's days where I just love myself enough. But at the end of the day, I'm showing myself the love that I deserve, that I know I deserve, and I'm being present. I'm valuing myself more, and I don't let people take me for granted anymore, because when you have struggles with self-acceptance, people usually notice that and take you for a ride. But the moment you start accepting yourself for who you are and accepting all your flaws, your imperfections, you then become strong and love yourself more, and people can't take you for a ride. Which leads me to the next part, which is boundaries. Setting boundaries. The more you start loving yourself, the more you start accepting yourself for who you are, and being content with that, it leads you to a certain space where, like, you just want boundaries in your life. Like, you start drawing the line on how people can treat you, how people can communicate with you, and all the stuff. So boundaries is about communication, and like communication within the relationships that you have, whether friends, family, colleagues, and so on. So once you start setting boundaries for yourself, you start having some peace of mind, having some sense of self-worth, because people know that they can't overstep certain boundaries. For example, when you don't really have that self-love or self-acceptance, you allow people to walk all over you. You allow people to just do whatever they want to do to you every day. Like, people will be asking you certain things, although that you know that your cup is empty. You overextend yourself to satisfy other people while your cup is running empty, and you're not supposed to be doing that, because how are you giving when your cup is empty, right? So when you start setting boundaries, you let people know how you feel. Like, you start openly communicating about your emotions, about your feelings, and how you feel. I, for one, for example, I was passive aggressive. I never used to air my feelings to people. I never used to say anything that I felt. I would just allow people to do to me what they want to do and let them get away with it. And I will never express how I feel at the end of the day, and life goes on. And with each day, that was taking something away from me. It was taking out of my cup. Every day, it was taking something out of my cup, right? So I was becoming this broken person in the process, because I never used to air my feelings. So recently, I built all this oh my god, excuse me. Okay, where was I got disturbed by this flying thing. It's still there somewhere, but okay, it's gone. So as I was saying, recently I've started setting boundaries, and that has brought me so much peace in my life. Like, for the people around me, I started setting boundaries. I started airing my emotions, telling people how I feel. If things don't sit right with me, I started saying how I feel, instead of letting it just pass by and ignore it and act like it doesn't matter at all. So with that, it has allowed me space to just be myself as well, be openly me without having to hide parts of me and stuff like that. For example, for one, I never even used to cry in front of people, because I just felt like, why do you need to see me cry? Because that would be that will be me telling you how I feel, like my emotions. But now I just do it openly, like, you know what, I'm gonna cry and you're gonna say it, and you're just gonna know how I'm feeling, and you need to know how whatever that you're doing is affecting me as a person, right? Instead of just hiding it and walking away and making it seem like I'm okay, while I know deep down that I'm suffering, right? So I've been investing a lot in being more open and telling people, like, this is where I draw the line. And funny enough, my sister now always says when there's something to be said, she's like, oh, you say it, because she knows, because yeah, you say things like they are, so you say it. And I'm like, when did I become this person who says things like they are? But yeah, I'm that person now. I'm that person. I'm not gonna let anything slide. Honey, if you're doing me wrong, I'm gonna tell you where to get off. But yeah, not in a bad way. I always try to make to share my feelings and also make them come across respectfully without hitting the next person. So yeah, also your method of communicating is very important, so you need to do it in a way that is respectful and also make sure that you are understood. So yeah, that is one of the things that I've been, nurturing in this journey of self-love. So now moving on to the next thing, which is mental health. So the two other points that I just covered also plays a huge role into your mental health. So if you do ignore those two previous points, you're also leading yourself into a disaster in terms of your mental health, all right? Because if you do not have self-acceptance, you're more likely to lead yourself into depression, because you're constantly battling with yourself internally. Or when you don't have boundaries with people, they take advantage of you, they overstep, and you tend to get stressed or get anxiety or get sad, or get hurt from all of that, which now also makes your which also makes your mental health take a dip, okay? Because those things also play a huge role into your mental health. So when it comes to my mental health, I make sure that I find ways to manage my stress and anxiety. I, for one, I know recently, as I've just started this journey of self-love and stuff, I've become even more anxious about a lot of things. Like, the more I start doing this, the more I start getting anxious about different things, and I'm finding ways to deal with that stress, with all that anxiety, the stress that comes with work, the stress that comes with being a content creator, the stress that comes with family, friends. There's always things that are going to happen around you that obviously leads you to stress or have anxiety as well. For example, driving for me came with a lot of anxiety. That was a lot for me. Like, I would sleep dreaming about driving and coming back. Like, it's a lot. And although that I can drive even now, I still have anxiety about going to places that I don't know. If I don't know where I'm gonna turn or which exit I'm gonna use the next day, wherever that I'm going, I start becoming anxious. So now, for my mental health, I'm starting to find triggers for my anxiety or my stress. So I work around finding what triggers me to be in this place, what triggers me to be so stressed or to be so anxious, and I work around those triggers, right? So now, instead of like scaring myself the day before or days before my trip, thinking about the exits or whatever, I just ignore it. I ignore that feeling. I ignore that vibe, the negative energy that comes with, yeah, you go in there and you don't know where you're going. Although you're going to use a navigator, but the fact that, yeah, you're just going to get into a random highway that you've never used before, and you're just going to drive and you could be lost. I let go of all those feelings now. I just tell myself, I'm going there. When the day comes, I'm just going to get into the car and I'm just going to do what I need to do. I also tell myself, you know what? When I get into the road, even if I drive at 50, Oksalayo, I'm on the road. The next person who's behind me would just have to pass me and continue with the road. Because why am I putting so much pressure on myself? Why am I doing that? But all I'm saying, all in all, is that I find all those things that triggers me that gets me into feeling that way. One of the things for me that I've been practicing is letting go of what will be, letting go of how will they react, letting go of all those things. Like, because I realized that most of the anxiety also came with what will be, like if you doing something and you're worrying about how is it gonna turn out, if you have a meeting to present in and you're really worried about how the presentation is gonna go, that you even actually end up failing because you came into the meeting way too anxious, that when it's time to present, your anxiety just takes over and you just mess up the whole thing because you've been worried, those type of things. Hence I'm saying, like, the things that you constantly, like, also like people as well, feelings, when you're thinking about telling people your true feelings and how you don't like things, and you're also already anticipating how they're going to respond to you, and you fear facing their reaction to what you're going to have to say. I think that's one of the reasons I never also spoke up, like, growing up, is because the fear of what the people I'm speaking to are going to react to what I'm saying to them, how they're going to react to what I'm saying to them. So I'm constantly in that battle of saying, what are they going to say and whatever. But now I've totally taken that out. When I tell you something, and whatever way you take it or you perceive it or, you handle it, it's your own thing and I have nothing to do with it, as long as I said my part and I move on, because I can't constantly dwell on people's reaction when I don't know how they're going to react, right? And it turns out most of the time people don't even react the way I even thought they would. Things will go as smooth as possible, things will be handled as smooth as possible, but you spend your whole week or your entire month worrying about something that you could have just solved in a minute. So I'm practicing the culture of letting go and letting God. Let it be, whatever goes, whatever doesn't. And then it ends there. All right. The next point is self-care. So self-care really plays a huge role in your life. That thing really plays an important role in your life. Like, it helps with making one feel so good about themselves. So most of you know I'm already into self-care, Sunday care routine vibes. That's because that plays a huge role in my life. Someone might be watching like, oh, she's using plenty of products, showering or whatever. They don't see the point of it, obviously from their own perspective. But for me, what does it do for me, right? For me, it does a lot. It relaxes me. It makes me romanticize my life. It makes me feel good about myself. Me smelling good, getting out of the shower, feeling fresh, looking all smooth, looking all beautiful with my makeup on, like Rana, like these little things really does a lot to my mood as well as to my attitude as well. Because when I take care of my body, when I invest in looking good, when I invest in my skin, when I invest in, my looks, it makes me feel good about myself. And it takes me to an extra step above from where I am, because now I even feel more beautiful. I even feel my mood more lightened up, So some things, for example, my mom used to say back in the days, like, why are you wasting money doing your nails? Like, for her, it's wasting money, but for me, is making myself look and feel good. So although I can compromise on the other things, I won't compromise on taking care of myself and doing the things that makes me feel good about myself. Because if having this makes me feel good, then trust me, I'm gonna do it. I will compromise on other things financially where I need to compromise. And yes, there'll be months where maybe I'll say, let me compromise with doing my nails because I need to reallocate my funds to something else. But at the end of the day, when I know that I need to do my nails, I'll go do them because they make me feel good. So self-care is just about investing and doing things that makes you feel good about yourself. Trust me, those things have, like, they make you feel good. They make you feel a certain, I can't even explain it, but they add that element in your life of you know, I don't even know how to put it, but you get me right. You get me. Those who know. Like, you get me right. You get me right. Also, like, for me, another self-care thing for me is also just finishing my house, doing all this house things, buying, making it look good. For me, that's part of my self-care, because when I see certain things in my house and I look at them every day, I'm like, that's so cute. Oh, that looks beautiful. Sometimes I would even stand upstairs, look down, and I'm like, my living room looks so good. And that makes me happy. It elevates my mood. Like, waking up and just looking down and be like, the living room look hella fine, okay? So those are some of the things that I do that I know that helps me with my mood, help me with my with my esteem, my self-esteem, that helps me with feeling whole as a person. Okay, so yeah, do tap into doing some more self-care and finding things that that you really love and enjoy. And then the other thing now is the voices that you listen to. So for example, now I just mentioned, for my mom is wasting money to do nails, but for me it makes me feel good. So now it goes back to the voices. What voices are you listening to every day in your life? It could be from friends, from family, yourself, your internal voices that tell you certain things. What voices do you listen to every day in your life? I think I've mentioned this in my previous video of how to become that girl, that boy, that the voices that you listen to at the end of the day determines the person that you become, because what you do in your daily life plays a huge role on who you become as a person, right? So to become this positive person and become this growing person who has a high self-esteem, who loves themselves, who spoil themselves, has to do with all those voices that you're listening to in your life daily. So if you continue listening to negative energy and the words such as I can't, instead of how can I fix it, or how can I get to where I want, you continue being this person with who's always depressed, or who's always in the the low vibration, in the low energy, because those are the type of voices you listen to. But when you listen to the positive ones, you're always in the higher vibration. You always have this positive energy and spirit because you're listening to the positive voices. I remember I once had a conversation with a person close to me, and they had this thing of negative self-talk all the time, like, yeah, now I'm like I'm cursed, or yeah, now when it comes to me, I know like things don't work out, so it's okay. And the type of thing, like, yeah, I knew it's gonna happen. It's like every day of their life they were always anticipating something bad to happen when it comes to them. Like each day of their life, if something happens and it's bad, they're like, yeah, I knew it. Like, so do you see how the person is always entertaining that negative thoughts, the negative energy, the negative spirit, that when things happen, they don't always act to make sure that things go in a positive way, because they already had that anticipation that things are just going to go south, right? So for me, it's a matter of saying, if you constantly entertain the thoughts of negativity, your results will be negative. But if you entertain the thoughts of positivity, things will be positive. The same story goes for like manifestation. When we talk about manifesting and all those things, is because we're saying entertain the side of what can be, what will be. If I take this step forward, if I do this one thing, if I do this, what will be. For example, myself now, I'm going to use the example again. If I sit down and said, should I start YouTube? What if it doesn't work out and then I didn't do it? look at me now. What if I didn't do it? And then I'll be sitting and I wouldn't know what would happen. But here I am and it's happening. Why are you not entertaining the positive thoughts? What can actually happen? Like, what good can actually come out of you entertaining the positive thoughts and doing actually what's positive and what's right for you? Okay, so you need to start entertaining voices that leads you into, voices that leads you into, success, that leads you into positivity in your life. Like, you should take failure as a lesson instead of a loss. You should. I was reading the book, that one book that said winners don't fear failure. It's only losers who fear failure, because they only think about losing. While winners only look at failure as a lesson or a way to improve. The next thing they're going to look for is, what can I do to make sure that I succeed the next time around, So that's some of the things I've been, filling my brain with, to say whatever that I work hard towards on, even if it fails, but what can I do better, or to make it work, or to make it succeed, or what lessons do I take out of things that happen to me, or things that, that fail, like, in my life. So yeah, that's also one of the things. And lastly, it's about self-discovery, right? So the whole journey of, loving yourself also comes with self-discovery, discovering new things about yourself, discovering things that you like, that you're passionate about, the things that drives you, that pushes you to, like, become this person that you want to be. Like, the journey of self-love actually now pushes you to start discovering new things about yourself, because once you start applying yourself into these different categories, things start unfolding. You start discovering new things about yourself. You start learning that you actually like certain things and you don't like certain things, and you actually discover what pushes you, like, so when you in this journey, you just need to give yourself time to also just find out, what is it that I've been ignoring that actually in my life it plays an important role, like things that the society told you that you shouldn't do, or you couldn't do, or they're forbidden or whatever in a society. I don't know, but things like that. For example, I think most of us, we come from families, e.g. tattoos, piercings and stuff like that are still what I'm getting, is still a unaccepted thing for some families, or most families. But if that's what I like and what I desire, and this is my body, and I want to do what I want to do to my body, why should your opinion matter on what I do and what I want to do to my body? Although we have different beliefs and we believe in different things, at the end of the day, I'm an adult and I'm allowed to make, certain decisions about certain things. So sometimes discovering those things about yourself, that as much as like people have an opinion about certain things, but you want them for yourself, you realize that you're just gonna go ahead and do them without their approval, because that's something that you like, it's something that you enjoy. For example, I'm an artist at heart. I remember starting the channel, I did say, like, I have a creative side of me that I want to entertain, that has been sleeping for years. Because what did I do? I told myself, I'm gonna go out, go to school, do what, the usual, what make your parents proud, go to school, finish school, get your degree, start working. But once I started doing that, and I realized that now I need to do what also makes me happy now, like tapping into my content creation side or my creative side. Most might not know, but I also know how to draw. I haven't done that in a while, but I did it, I think, I don't know, 2 weeks back. I drew a picture of this view that I have in front of me, and it looked so good. I'm like, bro, why don't you never do that? Like, but that's because growing up, we've been told to do certain things, how to become successful. But once you grow up and you start tapping into this self-love journey, you start realizing, like, it includes you discovering yourself and doing the things that you actually love, that you actually gifted with, and tapping into them as a person. So that's what I've been doing, and so far I've been enjoying the journey. I've been enjoying being here, having you guys around in the channel. Thank you so much once again. And yeah, also just tapping into my drawing. I've been reading a book with my poetry when I was a kid. I actually thought if someone did entertain that side of me, maybe I could be a writer today, or maybe I could be a poet, a drawer, a perfect artist, a sketcher, if I did entertain that side of my life. But it's still here, and I'm gonna entertain it at some point, slowly but surely, but we're tapping into it. So self-discovery is very important as well when you in this journey, just to say, you know what, discover your passions, discover your things that move your spirits, the move your spirit, that vibrates your soul, and also tap into that, because it really does make you feel good. It really does change a lot in your life, because you wake up looking forward to something rather than just doing what you supposed to do daily just to live. So yeah, those are some of the things that I'm doing. So this conversation was sparked by a talk that I joined at work that had this similar thing going on as well, where we spoke about these things, and it made me realize, like the other day when, like I said, was beating myself up, I'm like, go take a pause, go back. When you're doing that, we're not doing that to you. Go back and don't listen to the negative voices, listen to the positive voices. So I was like, I need to log this into my self-love diaries, because it reminded me, like, again, it's a new year. Let me also share with you to remind you again, like, this is a perfect time to also start your journey of self-love, to start loving yourself again, and finding new things about yourself, discovering new things about yourself. And I hope you get into it and you do it not for anybody but for you, because you deserve the love from you and from nobody else. Okay, so yeah, I think this brings us to the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you are new. And yeah, hit that like button, that notification bell to get notified every time I upload. Don't skip the ads, and I will see you next time. Stay blessed and stay safe. Bye.